one is the journey after this one. You could read them. You can read them separate. They're standalone books. But, so you can read this on its own. And this has to do with me moving to a new land, hence all the box and the moving stuff. That was when I moved to Florida from New Jersey. This is the book when I had just met my twin flame. And he is from England, and we were doing the long distance thing. And again, that's the next book after this one that will come out sometime, whenever it's time, about how I attracted my twin flame and how that journey went. That's all about relationships and marriage and fucking crazy shit. But it has a lot to do with healing childhood wounds, a lot. I'm just not ready to, like, it's just such a heavy topic, that book. There's so much to that book. It hasn't really come through to me yet on how I'm going to organize it all. It's a very meaty. I don't want it to be such a heavy book. And that was a heavy experience that I went through. So this book, I moved to a new land and I started having a lot of realizations about my work, how I was working, my relationship to the world, my relationship to my family members. So this has a lot of different topics related to, like, it's a really good book. All my books are really good. I really like this one. Again, I really like all my books, and I read them frequently because I always get new lessons from them or reminders of things. This book, what's good about this one is that it has journal posts, which basically all my books have journal posts. It has journal posts about something specific, and it's a short journal post. It's usually like a page or two. But then what happens is with this book, it has two different sections. One is stepping out of the illusion section, and it gives you all these questions to think about and to journal about. So it takes the teaching deeper. It helps you process the teaching. And then it has a section that is called Jumping to Higher Timelines. And what that section is about me reflecting on what happened to me back then. I was also going through health stuff. Oh, isn't that interesting? So yeah, this is a good book for you if you're going through the depression stuff too, okay? I would put that in the category of health stuff too, okay? So this talks about, so like this book was written, and then again, it wasn't, I didn't work with an editor, and it wasn't published till years later. And this is me looking back on like the experiences I went through, and then me writing about like, oh, how I would have maybe done that different to step to a higher timeline. Now, what's a higher timeline? A higher timeline is basically just upgrading your life. Rather than going through an experience and say, you have depression. So it's like, rather than just saying, well, I have depression, it's like, well, how can I use this depression to actually like really catapult my life? That's always that's very sexy to me. I'm very big on upgrading my life. I like that. That is one of my specialties, as far as like, I help people upgrade their lives in a really quick, short amount of time. And doing that, you have to be willing participant, because sometimes like people fight the changes, or it's like too fast. We got to go like a little bit slower. So that's why I'm saying, like, read this book, and then if you need to wait like a little bit, if it's like too much growth for you, or so you can like sort of stabilize at the new level, and then go to the next book. Or if you're just like, oh, I want more healing, I'm ready for it. You need to give yourself a chance to process the stuff and to make the adjustments in your life, because it's about internal stuff, and then you're doing external things. So I talk about in the Jumping to Higher Timeline section on like what I would suggest to like how I would do it now to go to that higher level, which I didn't understand back then because I was just learning the lessons, or not, I didn't understand to the certain extent. I was just getting the awarenesses. So this book sort of like holds your hand a little bit more, although both of them hold your hand, but this one doesn't have journal prompts. This one, so, and again, all my work's about relationships. Everything in life is about relationships. And mostly it's about the relationship you have with yourself and your relationship with God. That is important.